So let's talk about a book that gets people talking. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Is it this super cynical guide for manipulators, or is it actually a must-have guide for just surviving in the world? It's definitely controversial, and for good reason. So today, we're going to dive in and figure out what's really going on with it. Okay, so what's the big idea here? Well, Greene basically says that power is this game with its own set of unwritten rules. Think of it like a secret language of strategy and influence that people are using all around you, every single day, even if they don't want to admit it. And this book, it's his attempt to crack that code, to give you a handbook for the subtle art of indirection. Wow, I mean, the book kicks off with this really bold claim right here. No one wants less power, everyone wants more. He's basically saying this isn't just for super ambitious people trying to take over the world. Nope, it's in all of us. This drive to have some control over our lives. He says it's not about being good or evil, it's just human. All right, so if everyone's got this desire for power, how does it all play out? Well, Greene uses this one really powerful metaphor to explain everything: the royal court. Yeah, you heard that right. He argues that our world today, your office, your friend group, even your family, it's all basically one giant scheming royal court. Just think about it. The little alliances, people trying to get on the good side of the boss, all that political drama. He says you can't just say no thanks. We're all in it. We're all players in this game, whether we like it or not. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If this whole thing is a game you're forced to play, how do you actually play it? Because if you just try to ignore it, you end up being a pawn for someone else. So the only other option is to learn the rules and, get better at playing. Let's dig into some of those rules. Okay, first up, controlling your image. Because a huge part of this game is about perception. It's not just what you do, it's how people see what you do. And this one, wow, Law 6, court attention at all cost. I mean, how blunt is that? His point is that in this crazy, information-overloaded world we live in, being ignored is basically the worst thing that can happen. Being invisible means you're powerless. He sees human attention as a currency, right? It's limited. So it's actually better to be criticized than to be completely ignored. Any kind of attention, good or bad, keeps you in the game. And look no further than the master himself, P.T. Barnum. This guy was a genius at this. He totally got that any publicity is good publicity. I mean, he would literally write anonymous attacks on his own shows. Why? Just to keep his name in the papers. And it worked. That constant buzz, whether it was good or bad, is what made him a massive success. And you gotta admit, in the age of social media, this feels more true than ever, doesn't it? So, okay, once you've got people's attention, what's next? Reputation. This is what people think about you once they're actually looking your way. And Greene says you have to guard it with your life. He calls it the cornerstone of power. Because, think about it, a great reputation can win you a fight before you even show up. But a bad one? Oh man, that just paints a target on your back. All right, managing how people see you. That leads us right into our next big topic: navigating the hierarchy. This is all about how you handle the people above you. Your boss, your clients, anyone you answer to. And here we have law number 1, the very first one in the book, and probably for a reason: never outshine the master. This is just basic human psychology 101. The people in charge, they want to feel secure. And if you, who work for them, suddenly look smarter or more talented, you're not going to get a pat on the back. You're going to make them feel insecure. And trust me, that is a very dangerous path to go down. So let's break this down. It's really the difference between just showing off and actually being valuable. If you outshine your boss, you become a threat that needs to be, dealt with. But if you use your talents to make them look good, suddenly you're not a threat, you're their secret weapon, an indispensable ally. You're still using your skills, but you're channeling them in a way that boosts their ego instead of putting it on blast. And that, right there, is the art of being a perfect courtier, or, managing up in the modern world. It's not about being a brown-noser. It's about being smart. You still get your way, but you do it subtly, gracefully, without picking a fight you can't win. Okay, so you're managing your image. You're managing your boss. Great. But what happens when everything changes? Because, let's face it, it always does. How do you adapt? And this brings us to the very last law in the book, Law 48, and it is a big one: assume formlessness. Greene's warning here is that being rigid is being weak. If you're too predictable, if everyone knows your 5-year plan, you just make yourself a really easy target. Your rivals know exactly what you're going to do next.
And I love this metaphor. Be like water. Water is amazing, right? It can flow around anything. It can be a gentle stream or a powerful tidal wave. The point is, by being fluid and adaptable, you protect yourself. You keep your options open. Because let's be real, the only thing you can count on is that things will change.
And this is a huge strategic advantage. Being unpredictable just keeps everyone else off balance. While they're wasting all their time and energy trying to figure you out, you're the one in control. They're forced to react to you and not the other way around. Okay, I know what you might be thinking after hearing all this. It sounds a little dark, right? It's easy to see why this book has the reputation it does. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the ethics of all of this. Seriously, is this book just a how-to guide for manipulators? Is it a manual for becoming a more effective sociopath? It's the #1 criticism, and you know what? It's a totally fair question. Well, Greene actually tackles this himself, right in the preface. He says that power itself isn't good or bad, it's amoral. Kind of like fire, you know? You can use it to cook dinner, or you can use it to burn down a house. He says these laws aren't a moral code, they're just observations of how people operate. The goal is to see things as they are, not just as good or evil. So, when you boil it all down, the real takeaway here isn't to become some power-hungry monster. It's about awareness. It's about understanding the game so you can see it being played around you. Knowing these laws helps you spot when someone is trying to use them on you. So really, it's about strategic self-defense. It's about observing the game, understanding why people do what they do, and protecting yourself. And that brings us to the final question the book leaves you with. If this game of power really is everywhere, you have 3 choices. You can be a denier and pretend it doesn't exist. You can be a bungler who plays badly and probably gets hurt. Or you can be an artist, someone who actually understands the rules and navigates the world with skill and grace. So the question for you is, which one are you?